from 1 to 10, how is your mental strength and your mental resilience? Do you want to grow and deepen those roots of mental strength for a better life? Today, we're going to do some focus for growing your mental wellness and resilience. And that's from my latest devotional, Mental Strength Devotional by Nurse Ann, so that you can deepen your roots of mental resilience along with building your faith on solid ground, and your mental wellness can blossom and thrive for your exponential growth. I do want that for you. I am Nurse Ann. I'm a certified emergency and mental health registered nurse on the front lines. And this channel, this website, these devotionals and the books are here for you for your inspirational wellness for mind, body, and spirit. So we're going to jump into this so that you can get some tips for how to deepen your mental strength, and so that can blossom and you can thrive and spill that on to others. And this mental strength devotional is available. There's a link on the website at the Patreon and podcast tab. There's also a store, but I wasn't able to link it, but it's Mental Strength Devotional, 31 Days of Focus for Growing Your Mental Wellness and Resilience by Nurse Ann. So let's get into some of the key points to help you. So Mental Strength Devotional, just to start it off, reminding to you that you can deepen, grow, and strengthen your roots of mental resilience and build your faith on solid ground. And I was inspired by Psalm 1:3 that reminds us that we can be like a tree planted by rivers of water that brings forth fruit in our season. Our leaf will not wither, and whatever you do can prosper when you deepen those roots of faith along with your mental resilience. So the chapters in here, we talk about amygdala anxiety. We're going to talk about that in a second. We talk about your authority over your thoughts. Also, authenticity versus cognitive dissonance. Which one do you lean on? Being more authentic or struggling between what you feel like you're supposed to do? We also talk about, related to that also, is breaking out of boxes, labels, limitations in our mind and our life choices. Brain foods. Also, we talk about criticism as fuel for growth. How do you feel when you're criticized? Does that bring you down, or are you able to strengthen that in your mind to use it as fuel for growth? Your circle of friends is important. We talk about contentment. We also talk about collaboration and brainstorming ideas for your life with others that you can trust. Definitely, we're going to talk about dopamine cycles, because most of our thoughts and choices are fueled and led on by those dopamine cycles, which can get us stuck in habits, addictions, compulsions, thought strongholds. We want to learn how to break out of that. We also talk about emotional intelligence. I have a lot of videos on the podcast tab and Patreon tab of emotional resilience, emotional strength, mental strength, because this is so important, what we think and how we think. We talk about forgiveness, gratitude, how that helps you have a calmer and stronger mind. We talk about introspection, soul searching, therapy, prayer. We talk about letting go. What do you need to let go of today? Mind blocks. What are some of your mind blocks? And we also talk about mindfulness, kind of staying present in the moment, focusing on what's around us, focusing on our breath to have that calmer mind. Because I did see a quote, you've probably seen this, that said that the calmer you are, the calmer your mind is, the clearer that you can think and make those decisions. Mental strongholds, talking about how we get those mental strongholds and how to break out of them. Our mindset. We talk about neuroplasticity. It's such an exciting term because it's an ability of the brain to regenerate and rewire your circuits, even through injury, diagnosis, limitations, and how when you try new things that your brain is rewiring with that neuroplasticity. We talk about prayer, how that really helps center our thoughts and our brain and our mind and our life. We talk about your purpose, having discovering and working on honing the skills for your life purpose really can help your mind grow, be stronger, help you get past certain things, maybe those dopamine cycles that want to drag you on a different path. Having that purpose is so important for yourself that spills onto the life of your loved ones and others. We talk about resilience. We talk about how scripture helps us, sharing what we've learned with others. And so important is trauma healing. Most of us don't realize that at some point we have been through some trauma, and how that a lot of times from childhood or whatever we've learned in life in our circle has kept us stuck in certain patterns of how we choose relationships and make decisions. So it's important to dig into and discover trauma patterns and get that trauma healing. And we also talk about trauma bonds. They go together, and that's how we usually choose, especially wrong relationship patterns from trauma bonds. Sometimes we don't even realize that we had those. Then we talk about victory, how you can have victory in your life, victory over your thoughts. We talk about wonder, getting back that sense of awe and wonder for life, and how that does help. And then, of course, we winded up the 31 days with wellness. Once again, it's from my mental strength devotional, 31 days of growing your mental wellness and resilience by nurse. And that's me. I'm a certified emergency and mental health registered nurse on the front lines for many years and still going. This channel, make sure you follow, like, share, leave your comments. It's definitely here for your inspirational wellness of mind, your brain, your body, your spirit, because what? They work together in synergy for your best life. So let's go into just a couple of highlights. The amygdala anxiety is chapter 1, and your amygdala is a part of the brain that plays a key role in anxiety and fear. How does the amygdala work? It processes sensory and social stimuli to evaluate their emotional significance. And did you know it's responsible for the body's fight, flight, and even freeze response? Fight, flight, and freeze is important when we are in actual danger, but we can get stuck in that amygdala anxiety, that fight, flight, or freeze, just from everyday things that stress us out. And it's not healthy for our body. It can cause lots and lots of damage in our body, our brain, causing sickness that we don't want when we are stuck in that fight, flight, freeze, that emotional amygdala anxiety response. So we're going to talk about stress reduction and ways to reduce that in this devotional. In Philippians 4, 6, and 7 does remind us that we can be anxious for nothing, but with everything in prayer and supplication with thanksgiving to let our requests be made known to God. And there's amazing promise in the next line, the next verse. It says, the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, can guard your hearts and minds. And I found that to be true. Have you found this to be true in your life when you cry out and pray, even when you're going through sadness, trouble, stress, when you ask God to help you present those requests, even though you may still have that trouble in your life, that stress, He can actually guard your heart and your mind to come to a calmer place, a place that gives peace that passes understanding, because you don't understand why you have this peace to help you go on, but it is that promise. So you can meditate and journal in this devotional on that. And some ways to take, chapter 2, some ways to take control of your thoughts and authority. We're going to talk about that, how you can do that. And a reminder in 2 Corinthians 10, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. We can cast down those imaginations, and there's more on that. And then, of course, chapter 3, authenticity versus cognitive dissonance. What is cognitive dissonance? Have you heard of that? It's the psychological state of discomfort that occurs when someone holds conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes. It can also refer to the tension that arises when a person's actions don't align with their beliefs. And sometimes to reduce cognitive dissonance, people might change their beliefs, justify or rationalize their actions, ignore conflicting information, and avoid conversations or situations that challenge their beliefs Or what you can do is be your authentic self. I talk about this a lot. I have videos on that. It's so important. Your authenticity is beautiful. And I know a lot of times in society, what's going on wrong, what we've been programmed, our trauma bonds, whatever, they can want to keep us stuck in that box of not being authentic. So we're going to talk about how to maintain and achieve your authenticity. Chapter 4, we talk about breaking out of boxes, escaping from limitations, thinking outside the box. In chapter 5, we talk about brain strength, things you can do to strengthen your brain. We talk about brain foods. Those are important. And then 7 is criticism as fuel for growth. I love this one. I actually did a video, if you scroll back, about using criticism as fuel for growth. And at my website, nurseann.com, that's Ann with an E, there's a tab for mental strength, also for a legacy series, and I believe that video might be in there, or actually it might be on the mental strength one. We also talk about the new series right now is transforming. There's a lot of transformation for your life in your mind. And I'm going to let you get the book to see the rest, or follow along on this website. This channel is here once again. Follow, like, share for your inspirational wellness. And I'm going to let you see one more time so you can get this. It's available at Amazon and other booksellers, but it's Mental Strength Devotional, 31 Days of Focus for Strengthening Your Mental Wellness and Resilience by Nurse Ann. That's me. Have a blessed day.